So I'll call this meeting in order for February 27th, North Bend Planning Commission. Has anyone had an opportunity to see the minutes from January 16th?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll take a motion or any changes first. I did not go to that meeting, so I'll trust you all. But you guys have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We will open the case number 627-22-000018 planning petition to vacate a more particularly described portion of an alley contained within block 12 map of Midland Edition in North Bend, Coos County, Oregon, subject property unapproved east-west alley adjacent to 3390 Broadway Avenue, assessor map number 25 South, 13 West, 21 AA. Current zoning residential. My name is Brian Gold and I'm the Planning Commission Chairperson. Planning Commission will make a final decision on the application based on the complete record, including testimony received at tonight's public hearing. These proceedings will be recorded. The hearing will be conducted in accordance with North Bend City Code and State Law ORS 197-797. Specifically, the staff will first present the staff report recommendation. The applicant will have an opportunity to present a proposal. And then those, if any of you are not present, can do an opposition. It'll shorten this out a little bit, but there are no people here to testify, so we're going to buzz through this. If anyone does show up to speak, we'll read that part. Does anyone have any conflicts of interest, ex parte? Do anyone visit the site? Need to disclose any conflicts of interest?
Negative.
Well, I think we've all been on the site at one time or another, had a stake,
True.
Sure.
but not in relation to this development.
All right. So no one is here to object anyways. I had a stake there in the past. And we can all make objective decisions based on that. So state law requires me to tell you a number of things at the beginning of this hearing. First, the applicable substantive criteria that apply to this application are contained in written staff report and will be identified and discussed in the oral staff report. Second, testimony, arguments, and evidence must be directed towards these criteria. No one's here to raise any problems with it, so we'll just go into the staff. Derek, please.
Yes, this proposed vacation area has historically been used by the tenants of the property, previously Sizzler, as part of their parking lot and landscaped area fronting Cape Arago Highway and Broadway Avenue. The proposed use is an EV charging station, mini mart, gas station, car wash, development. The applicant has obtained 92% of the affected land owners by land area for ORS 2001-080. There's been no concerns raised by city staff, utility companies, the surveyor, or any of the adjacent property owners. There is, however, a Pacific Power pole near the vacation area, but it is in Broadway right of way. And if you have any concerns on that, that's kind of what I've got. It's a fairly straightforward vacation.
Does anybody have any questions?
Maybe not. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay, and there is no one here for the record, no one here in favor or against. So since there are no questions, I will, before I close the public hearing, give you one last chance to ask questions of Derek. Hearing none, so we'll go into the deliberation and decision. Anyone have any discussion, comments on this application? I will just say I was surprised that this had never been done before. That's all I picked up on was it was been in use forever.
My comment is finally we're going to put something back in there as useful as opposed to fallow property, so yeah, it'd be nice to have
Well,
it.
I'm a little disappointed that the Olive Garden isn't gonna go there.
Right.
We all are.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good
Yeah,
thing.
it is good.
Yeah, help clean that.
So, somebody want to ask anything else? We can take a motion.
I move that the planning commission recommends the city council to approve the petition for right of way vacation. And adopt by ordinance the findings, conclusions, and recommendations of the planning commission as presented. In the planning commission recommendation to approve case file number 627-22 -000018 PLNG.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is anyone opposed to the motion? No. So we'll vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Do we have any other business?
No other business, no public comment. I've got something, so we're gonna be hearing a variance, next month. I won't get too far into that, but, the question has been posed of our ordinance, regarding fence heights.
Hmm.
So, as it was prior to, I believe it was June 2021. In the side and rear yards, you were allowed to go up to 6 feet tall. Regardless of your frontage along the street. In what I believe June 2021. Commission and council changed that rule to be 4 feet high fronting any right of way. And this has caused kind of some waves with contractors and homeowners putting up fences. And so I wanted to see if the commission would be amenable to potentially looking into changing that back to how it was. And I mean, obviously not voting on it right now, just before I give spend a bunch of staff time on it. If it'd be something that you guys would be willing to consider.
Why did we change it to begin with? I can't even remember.
So there was one scenario where there's 3 lots. And one of them was addressed on State Street, so that was his front yard. And he had to have a shorter fence than his 2 neighbors who fronted the other street.
Oh.
And they had 6-foot tall fences and he had to cut his down. As far as I'm aware, that's been the only case where that's been an issue. Whereas a lot more people live on corner lots. And you know, the impression is that those homeowners are unfairly prejudiced.
Well, I think it was having to do with sightlines, right? That was why we were,
And so this.
the main reason why we.
Right, and this wouldn't change that vision clearance area, the 30-foot by 30-foot triangle, where
Yeah.
everything has, in that triangle has to be 3.5 feet or less.
Yeah.
And that still is in our code as of right now, and that's not being proposed to change at all.
So I can't remember all the particulars. I was here when that was going on and I can't remember all the particulars at all, but I don't know. Part of me just thinks you just leave it the way it is and then look at them case by case. Just because like he says, that's my, I hate when I can't see around the corner. Or there's some big plant, there or an RV that's there.
And it's not about just fences, it's about foliage, people have.
Yeah.
Corner your street,
Yeah.
you have to pull almost all the way into the
All the way into the
intersection to see what's going on, so.
My wife asked me to do something about that.
How's that working out, Ron? Anyways.
Well, I talked to Derek about it.
I would concur with Brian that, yeah, we should.
So I would
Case by
like to
case.
suggest, Derek, that if you could put together a packet presentation for us to be able to review about what's this, that.
Yeah.
And then we could take a look. I'm not opposed to looking at it, but I kind of don't want to change things and change it back and then change it and then change it back and then change it and change it back.
That's fair.
This seems like once you if you open up the floodgates, then everybody's gonna be planting the pampas grass on the corner and then, I don't know. That's in my old street, that's what we used to deal with and it was miserable. So
Right.
it just,
Okay, yeah, I can set this one together and just share it with the commission and we'll go from there.
that'd be great.
All right.
So it's made one variance on the fence, right?
Yeah, I'm happy to help them. I mean, anything we can do to help somebody, but it just seems like if you make a blanket thing, then it's like you can't slow it down.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Thank you, Ron, for taking over last month. I appreciate that.
Certainly, it was fun. My lips were numb for 2 days.
There's a lot more to read,
There's a lot.
but I like this, how we were able to cut it down a little bit. Hopefully that was legal. I guess if someone comments in the future, we'll change it back. So. But anybody have any other comments? That's all I have.